Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. And hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hey. What's going on to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers? What's going on in your worlds? Hello, babies. It is another glorious day, my darlings. And I hope you have all of your crumpets, babies, because you know what time it is, honey. It's time to dish tea. And you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. Oh, my goodness. I got all kinds of strange noises coming from me, honey. Okay, I'm half belching and all this, all this old calamity. What's going on, honey? Broderick is in the building. The princess that came up in here, happy Sunday evening to you. EJ over there on YouTube, coming on up in. Y'all come on up in here, honey. Come on up in and make yourselves comfortable, honey. Yes, comfortable. Okay? Because we're going to have a good time up in here this evening. Now, I'm waiting on my co-hosts to come up in, and hopefully they're going to be joining me soon. Nikki is still with the grandbabies and carrying on, honey. They still wearing her ass out and things, so she may pop in like she did last night. But we're definitely going to see what the tea is, okay? And be the tea and carry it on. I got this little tickle in my throat, and I don't know what it is. You know, it doesn't necessarily hurt, but it feels like I've been talking too much, or maybe I know what it is. It's probably because I've been driving most of the day and I've had that air conditioner on. And, you know, if you use your voice for speaking and, you regularly and carrying on and professionally, air conditioner, honey, is the worst thing for all that damn freon and shit, honey, will fuck up your vocal tone, cords and all of that. And I think that's what I might be experiencing because I didn't have this problem earlier. It's just now that I've been driving and carrying on and running around trying to take care of a couple of things and trying to get Samantha Stevens' divinity together, honey. Yes, we done got a few little pieces of some coiffures, okay, a little coifs, okay, and things of that nature. So we did all that and carrying on and rolled around and done a couple of things. Still didn't get a chance to do everything, but we're going to make some things out. This is apple juice today right now. I need to really have some tea. I've done drink of all of my tea, and I didn't make any more. So I'm on apple juice right now, children. I think I'm going to have to spike this with a little However, I'm going to get it off into this. Today's show, reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? We're going to get into a few things, and I'm going to tie all this together on how we can really be uplifting ourselves. And y'all know this is Soulful Sunday, so I want to make sure that we tie it into something that's going to elevate and edify us into, closer to that authentic and unique selves. You know what I'm saying? Getting you to step up and rise up to the occasion into your optimum self. Okay, your optimum. Because I'm sure a lot of you will say, honey, I feel good right now. But, if you're good, I always say, everybody say, well, have a good day. And I always tell them in my response, well, you be better, have a better one or whatever. But now, we want to be better than best. Okay, my best, when you know how they say, but my best isn't good enough. And sometimes what I want to do is I want to be better than my best. I need to be my optimum, my optimum. And here's the thing, sometimes we have to understand that moment to moment, your optimum and your best is just what it is at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know y'all have better days than others when you're just super, super sharp and this, that, and the others. Like, yeah, we just kicked ass. Then there are other times where, like, honey, that's all I got today. You know what I'm saying? But then we want to get to a point where mentally, spiritually, we're able to press beyond that, to see the bigger picture and to see the biggest picture. You know what I'm saying? So that we can say, okay, this is a step to get me there. Everything about us should always be evolving to take us to a higher place. The moment you know that when you start to become complacent where you are, then it's time to make a move. And it's not to say you're not supposed to revel and bask in where you are, because it's an accomplishment to get to the level where you are. You want to be grateful for it and be thankful for it, and enjoy the fruits of that labor. At the same time, there comes that point where, how many of y'all understand, when you go on vacation and went to your dream vacation spot or whatever, and you get to that point where it's like, okay, the party is over, been there, done that, then it becomes like, what's next? You know, what do I do now? What is the next feat for me to do? I conquered this. And things. And not to say you won't repeat it. It's just that now you start to look at where do I go from here? And that, yeah, we should have that same attitude about everything in life. Everything, take that all across the board. So in our efforts of making sure that we entertain that and all of that, I want to tie in a couple of current events that's going to get us into a space. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Wait a minute. Let me go to my notes, child, because I write this stuff up. If y'all go to the Facebook page, y'all know I write some eloquent shit about the show. But brilliant, you know. Oh wait, let me turn the sound down. Hold on. Let me turn the sound down. Okay, there we go. But what we do is I write this stuff, but old brilliance is up there thinking I'm gonna memorize it and do I did it and carrying on, and knowing that I'm very extemporaneous when it comes to the show. Oftentimes I like to shoot from the hip so that it doesn't seem so pre-planned or whatever. I mean, we have structure, but oftentimes if it's too pre-planned, it doesn't come across as authentic, at least for me. You know what I'm saying? But um, this is what we're going to talk about in a few things. But I want to know, how many of y'all remember back in the day when you used to sit down and you used to practice your handwriting and stuff because they were giving out penmanship awards? Who wrote the best, handwriting and carrying on? And then when you learned it one way, you learned how to print, and you had the best print and carrying on. Then when you learn cursive. Mm. And you sit down there and you have to write your name and write the teacher's name or whatever, or they made you write an entire sentence to see, about understanding your penmanship and things, and you got awards and all that kind of stuff. Do y'all remember the movie The Bad Seed, the original one? Okay, with Rhoda, and she was trying to get, the penmanship award because she knew she wrote the best hand and all of that. She had the best handwriting in class and all that. Remember those days? Well, do you also remember that when you got your report card, everybody always wanted the A's and the B's, right? So you went for A's and B's, but in that citizenship category, you got numbers. You got 1, 2s, and 3s. Everybody, the ideal report card was to have all A's and all 1s, right? Or if you got A's and B's and all 1s. If you had a couple of 2s in that citizenship, it was okay, but you better not come up in there with no 3. Okay, not in citizenship, because the 3 means that you failed citizenship. You talked too much. You were the class clown. You were not handling your business the way that you were supposed to, and be, paying attention and minding your business and doing the right things. You were always reprimanding and caring. Do y'all remember those days? Well, I know that I do, because see, I was one who I one report card mark, and it wasn't all. I didn't get all threes, but in my homeroom class, I got an A3. Okay. And remember when they used to sit down there and they had to write it in there? We didn't have printed report cards like y'all got. They had to write it down. Okay. And it was always in black ink, unless they were giving you F's and threes. Okay. All those were in red ink. Remember that? And honey, I would have this big old pretty ass black A, honey, but then next to it, it was a red 3. And that's because, talking is a hobby. So I've always talked, and I've always challenged my teachers and everything when I didn't think something was right, that they said or whatever. Or if the lesson, I was the inquisitive one. I always asked questions. And oftentimes the teachers would think that I was just being a smart ass and carrying on. Sometimes I was, but other times I wasn't, because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. If you're trying to teach us this, but that doesn't make sense. And it will always get me in trouble with my mother. My mother always tell me, I'm not going to get your ass hurt, this, that, and that. So what, do y'all remember doing those things in school and carrying on? Well, the question is, why is it that schools have taken out teaching kids how to write in cursive? They've taken out the whole citizenship thing. You don't even worry about citizenship anymore. So now, again, with understanding how to create a movement, and building, um, and creating good stewards and good students and all of that, why have they removed that out of the schools? And then what does it say about building the character good citizens? Especially remember when we had this, I'm a child, listen, my allergies are giving me hell, honey. I'm itching and carrying on. I got this crook in my neck right here. You see me rubbing this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. But do y'all remember when we were made to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance before we did anything? When the doorbell rang, the school bell rang or whatever, we all had to stand up, put your right hand over your heart. Sometimes we had to hold our hand up, or if you didn't hold your hand up, you had to stand up, stand erect as possible, put your hand over your heart, and then you had to say the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Well, that was in citizenship, was all about that. That was part of your character, part of being a good steward. One thing about citizenship was understanding what it was to be a good patriot for your country, understanding how to treat one another, this, that, and the other, understanding there were rules and stuff that you had to follow, and all that kind of stuff. And so that's what the citizenship marking was for, 1s, 2s, and 3s. They removed all of that. Okay. They don't, as far as being a good steward and a good what we call the stewardship in church, being of service to one another. It's called being, a good steward, a good disciple. Okay. They halfway teach that in church nowadays, don't they? But how to be a good steward. They reprimand the shit out of you for it, don't they, when you're not? But they don't even teach it there. So now in a country where your patriotism is being challenged, your character is constantly being assassinated or whatever, why is it that we've taken out some of these basic principles out of the school and have not shown anybody, or have not been able, we have forgotten or gotten away from building the character of our students and our teachers and all of that? Okay. So yeah. Okay, so what is it? Okay, let's go to the comments, because Eric, you just put something up, and I'm gonna start at the top, because yeah, you just put something up there, because yeah, I totally agree. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey family, what's up? Everybody's here. What's up? EJ. Okay, okay, everybody saying hello to one another. That's cute. Yes, I like to view my life right now as a constant work in progress. Yes, you do. You do an excellent job of setting up the show topics on your page. I'm learning that part of the process. Thank you, baby. The bad seed is one of my mother's favorites. Let's not get started on Rhoda's crazy ass. Now listen, you know what? I could quote that movie. You understand me? I'm talking about the original one, honey. Y'all know. Listen, that original one, honey. Ooh, that is my motherfucking movie right there, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, I won a couple of those back in the day. Just recently retaught myself cursive during the pandemic. Really? Now that's an interesting story. That's an interesting story. I like that. Road, happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Road to stardom over there, coming in on the YouTube page over there. Citizenship class must be something similar when I was in school. The child, well, it wasn't necessarily a class. What citizenship was is you got graded on how you was acting in class. Okay, back in the day, we used to get, like I said, we used to get your report cards was letters and numbers. The letter grade was how you did your work and carried on. The numbers were how you responded, how you acted in school and carried on, especially in your homeroom, because most of the time you was in that same class all day. We didn't start changing classes maybe until what, fourth grade, because then you had a special class to go to or a special teacher that taught social studies. Fourth and fifth grade, and you only did that maybe once or twice, or if you had a lab to go to or whatever, was when we started changing classes. We didn't get up and start walking the halls and then change books and stuff till middle school. So when you was in the class all that damn time, or you had your homeroom class, then you were in your homeroom class for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours out of the day, and then you went to other classes. So yeah, so we had where your behavior was also graded. Yes, because the bad grades would be in red. Yes, I grew up where you did so, where you did. So I know, but I never even considered that other students were graded any other way. Only learned that during my college years. Okay, you know what? Yeah, so Eric, yeah, Eric, you understand. You from the D, and you understand what we went through in those schools. You know, yes, I do. My allergies have been driving me crazy too. We getting old, fam. You know what? Listen, every time, child, we sitting up here as a new creep. And like right now, doing the show, I got this little knot right here at the base of my neck, just before you hit the shoulder blade. It's right here. And I don't know, it's because of how I'm sitting, or I done got too comfortable right here. But every time, so that when y'all see me trying to adjust, because I'm trying to alleviate this motherfucker, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And it's got to be because I'm in this chair and I'm sitting some kind of way or something. Because baby, it don't start until I sit down at the show to do the show. Okay. Pledge of Allegiance. Yes, I remember that for sure. Okay, the question, this is what you wrote. The question is also, what have they replaced these things with? That's what you wrote, and I said, I'm right there. What have they replaced these things with? Question mark. Hmm. Let's explore that. Let's explore that. In Mississippi, it wasn't one, two, three. It was E for excellent or S for satisfactory. Now, you know what? Okay, was that for your citizenship, Roderick? Then that's interesting because we had in the lower grades before we started getting the letters, we had satisfactory S's and U's, satisfactory or unsatisfactory. When we were in the smaller grades, kindergarten, first and second grade or whatever, was when we got those kind of grades. Mm-mm. Oh, you welcome, baby. Yes. Okay, thanks for explaining it. I think there was a similar system when I was in elementary school, but not in my middle or high school. Okay. Yeah, because by the time we got to middle school, uh, let's see, I started off at Foch Middle School. Okay. No. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I started off at Foch, um, which was right next door to Southeastern. Then Foch closed down. And then I went over to Barber. We got bused into Barber. So I went from a Foch Flame. We were the Flames. No pun intended. Foch Flames, honey. Then we went to becoming a Barber Bullet. But in middle school, we did not necessarily have the um the citizenship marks. It was just, it was all about your grades there, what you did in the class. And then they would say how many days you missed the school. They had your attendance, but they didn't have the citizenship. Citizenship was in the elementary schools on that level. Okay, yes, sir. So that was okay. Interesting, interesting. Okay, we did not change classes much, but I remember when I was in honors class, they were set up differently. I kept waking up with sinus headaches, and my nose stopped up. Really, listen, y'all tell y'all all the time, honey. I was the runny nose boy, and as y'all can tell, I still am. I swear, I need to really buy stock in anybody's tissue paper, honey. Okay, in tissue paper. Okay, I don't even know how to do that. I have to get with a stockbroker because I'm serious. I really need to buy some shares of somebody's tissue because, child, my mother hated doing my laundry because if they forgot to check my pockets, everything came out with cotton ball in on it because I had tissue everywhere, everywhere, and still do, child. I still got to check my pockets before I do laundry because I have tissue everywhere. Mm. Oh, that got good. Apple juice. So, so now let's look at that. You talk about cursive writing. Now, Eric, you said you had to reteach yourself cursive while we're in this pandemic and carrying on. So now the question becomes, why did they take that out of the school system? Now, I understand we got electronic devices at here. Now we have what's called an electronic signature, but not everything is electronic. When you go open up a bank account, honey, you need a signature. Okay. When you go to the doctor, they don't give you electronic signatures in that doctor's office or at the hospital. You got to sign that paper, baby. Okay, to say that you understand that you're gonna be responsible if your insurance don't pick it up and blah 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 blah. That there requires a signature. When you buy a house or any kind of official paperwork, electronic signatures don't cut it. You have to sign it. Okay. Now there are some concessions that being made because now we got online banking and this, that, and the other. And if you're doing online banking and online accounts or whatever, then that's when technology kicks in because now we got to go through the security system. You got to do the retina of your eye. You got to do your fingerprint thing, and then you got to sit up there, get your PIN number, and then they got to do a double PIN. You put your PIN in, they're gonna send you a text message. Then you got to put that number up in here so that they know this is the right person. And then, of course, the secret questions and all that kind of shit. So we go through all these protections for an electronic signature. Okay, but we don't take the time to go through and make some shit happen to where we teach folks what to do. We have gotten away from checks, but there's some time when you still get a check. How many of y'all that don't have bank accounts? Okay, and yet you get a paper check and you go to the check cashing place. You got to sign that check in order to get your coin, right? So why are they not teaching folks how to write? Okay, what is this? You don't know cursive writing. That doesn't make any sense. Or are they going to develop a program like they did with Hooked on Phonics? Remember, phonics used to be part of the curriculum. Phonics was part of learning how to read. You had to learn how to sound the words and sound the letters and understand the letters of the alphabet. See, back when we were kids, it wasn't just learning to say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You had to understand how each one of them sounded. What sound does this letter make? Understanding what's a consonant and what's a vowel. Okay, how does a double consonant, a G and an H, make an F sound? See, um we have gotten away from a lot of all of that. You understand? Now what then happened? They took it out of the school. Now they make you pay for it. Oh, hooked on phonics worked for me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. They make you pay for it. That program, by the way, is like $250 because you get it on easy monthly installments and things. $250 for you to sit up here and do a course that they were already teaching in school back in the day, but they removed. Huh? So now with cursive writing and carrying on, remember, now catch this. Y'all seen the late night commercials for calligraphy, right? And you get the special little pens so you can do calligraphy and learn how to write fancier notes and this and other. Be the creative one on your job or at home and design fancy banners and all that. Remember those little pens? Well, that was for calligraphy because that was a special type of writing. It wasn't cursive. Hmm. Or is it? So now was that the gateway to building this whole idea of learning how to improve your penmanship and carry it on? Be legible, be able to so that folks can learn how to read your handwriting. Are you tired of chicken scratches? Okay, are we there? Is that where we are cheering? Huh? Is that what? Let me go to the comments. Let me go to the comments. Let me go to the comments. Okay, happy birthday, Road to Stardom. My birthday is next week. Next week. 8 days to Club 50. Let the countdown begin. Okay, come on now. Stocks. That's my lingo. Another way of looking a stock is making toilet paper cheaper over your lifetime until it's practically free and becomes a capital income. Toilet paper is a commodity stock. Yeah, I know, but the question becomes, okay, I need companies and what is it, how is it being traded on the stock market? I don't know what to call it as in the exchange. And then how do I get in? Because like a lot of companies, we know them as uh what? How many of y'all know that I think it was Beatrice Foods and somebody, is it ConAgra? Somebody that Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell, and there's a third one. Kentucky Fried, Taco Bell, I think it's Pizza Hut. That the three of them, if I got the names right, don't quote me on that just yet. But the three of them are all owned by the big conglomerate, and I want to say ConAgra Foods, I think. I got to look that up. But the conglomerates have gotten something to where you thinking, okay, I'm gonna buy stock in Scott tissue paper, but Scott ain't the name of the company. So you have to go. I think Scott is by Procter and Gamble. Okay. So now you got to find the big company and see how can I get in this. But I just want to do toilet paper. I don't care what I could invest in them all. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't want to invest. Okay, now how they do that? Because if it's a commodity, then how do I go up in here and get into the right thing? That's what I need to know in order to do that. You know. So yes. Okay. Roderick says, I got an unsatisfactory in citizenship because I had ADHD, but I was really smart. So I would finish my work first. I would go and help my friends and finish so we could talk. Always got in trouble and had letters to take home to my mother. Baby, my mother didn't play, and she too was a teacher. Wow. See, you know what? I was kind of the same but talking is a hobby for me. So I would always have my work done, you know. Or there were times where we would sit up and like if the folks didn't get how the teacher explained it, I would go through and start explaining the lesson. You know, and then as we're doing it and carrying on, then we have conversation, child. We get into it, and it was always be quiet. Everybody trying to work. I'm like, everybody ain't nobody trying to work. Yeah. So I was somewhat the same way. I remember Hooked on Phonics cassette tapes. Imagine my surprise when I found out that now it's a streaming service. Right. Are they replacing writing skills with more computer related skills? I think this may be because we are trying to set us up to be a more paperless society. Yes, calligraphy is awesome. That's on my bucket list of learning. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Yes, going paperless and carrying on. Wait a minute. Going paperless is the way because it will save trees and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, uh, how many of y'all remember the movie The Net with Sandra Bullock? Huh? Y'all remember that movie, The Net? And that there was where's this damn balloon? Because this damn string is getting on my nerves. Um, That was a movie where she was a computer wizard and carrying on, but somebody had built a better program and came in and wiped out her identity and replaced her identity with the girl who was the criminal and things. And they were trying to create, put this virus at the National Computer Convention and carrying on and introduce the world because they were trying to take over the world and do global whatever, whatever. The same shit that they say that Russian shit is doing now with the elections and all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. We've had this movie out. The Net came out back in the early 90s. I think the late 90s, I think it was. Okay. But in going to a paperless society, what we have is we don't have enough stuff to back up shit. See, one of the things about a paper trail is just that, a paper trail. Honey, I can sit down here and leave carbon copies everywhere. And folks would debate and say, oh, well, you could put that up in the cloud, you could back up your disk. But child, if you get something that's corrupted on that motherfucker, this shit ain't gonna play. So if you sit up here doing viruses and carrying on, and whoever sits down to think of and create viruses just to fuck up shit, just to do it, there's some mean motherfuckers. Okay. Those are some mean and cruel and horrible people. Okay, to want to sit down there and just destroy the world like that. Consider that everything can be done with just a click. Okay, everything could be done with just a click, which is why online banking, kind of gets to me a little bit. I'm sure y'all heard Cash App done got, they had a bug in it. Somebody that got through to where they was going out there taking folks' money out the Cash Apps and shit because your Cash App is connected to your bank account. Okay. So they're going through there and doing all this old crazy shit to get you going. Okay. Now what? Okay. So in this, going paperless, is that necessarily a good thing? Because going paperless also means y'all already know they're trying to make money obsolete. That's why everything is on the card. Debit card. Okay, your EBT card. Baby, when food stamps went on the credit card, child, I howled. I knew something right wasn't right then. When we were able to get our food stamps on a card, so all you gotta do is go up in there and swipe like everybody else. And then nobody got to be in your business to know that you got food stamps. And especially when they put all your cash benefits and they're on your damn food stamp card. When you go up in there, they give you an option. This is EBT, food or cash. Okay. Hmm. Right. Okay. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. What you say? I do think there is something strange about this push to go paperless, especially when it comes to money. Okay, come on, say it. Say it, sweetie. Say it. Hey, Amy, come on up in here, girl. While you got a break from the little one. You're right. They used to be under Pepsi. Exactly. Okay. Right. They were up under Pepsi and carrying on, but this, for whatever reasons, the bigger company came in. Because remember, you will always go and you will see them together. Churches, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell, and I think it is Pizza Hut. All three of those restaurants will always be somewhere in the same vicinity. Okay. And remember when you could go in the store and it was a Kentucky Fried Chicken Taco Bell combo store, and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know? And then that's when we started getting all this other do I did jizz and things of that nature. Yeah, I'm moving and I'm all up on this damn backdrop, child. Okay. Kimberly-Clark Corporation presently owns Scott Paper Towels. Okay, hi. Okay. I'm late to the discussion, but I saw that cursive was on the agenda. I read that they're bringing it back because it's actually a useful skill to improve and improve brain function. Really? Really? Okay, research department, you better give me that. You better give me that. But because it takes time when you're sitting up there, listen, I know for me, I like to have pretty handwriting. Now, I've let it get a little slovenly over the years because, most of the time I'm just writing to be writing. Okay. I'm not trying to impress the reader and carry on. I don't write long, extensive letters like I used to. When you would send letters to people, see, we got away from that. You send letters to folks. Now we got text messaging and shit and email. So you don't even have to worry about doing that anymore. But sometimes I had to type mine because sometimes my curly keys and stuff would be too frilly, and folks couldn't read my handwriting, and I write big. So oftentimes it takes somebody maybe a page and a half to write. Sometimes it would take me 4 pages or whatever to write because I would write big and wanted to make sure I'm, this and da 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 dee da. That's my LANDRUM/curly curly curly line. Okay, that just took up a whole line. Okay, to spell your last name, Landrum. Okay, so then at the time I used to write real hard, so my paper would curl. So you're trying to write with the paper curling up and stuff because now how I'm writing so hard to where I'm making my own carbon copy because the pressure from the pen is going through, and I'm actually writing twice. So the first page is the actual writing, but I can't use the second page because now, hell, you can sit down there and feel it. You can feel all the letters and stuff. So I couldn't use that piece of paper because hell, I'd wrote it twice or whatever. It's like a carbon copy. So then I had to go to the next piece of paper, and yet still because I'm writing so hard, the paper curling up and shit. Oh, it was ridiculous. Okay, so and I was saying all that to say yes, because you're studying how to make sure it takes time to make sure your B's and then remember how we were learning how to write, and you were writing your E's and your I's, and you want to make sure that when you made the I, that it was a straight line that didn't have the loop in it because you didn't want to confuse folks between the E and the I, and then you wanted to make sure that your L didn't look like your T's because you had to cross your T's, you know, to make sure this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah. So it was an art to writing. Okay, so then when you went back over it, you wanted to make sure that I know I still do this today when I'm writing, and if I got too much of a loop, because say I'm writing understand, well, the way how you're supposed to write understand, you're supposed to take and come up and then start the U, right? Because I like to connect the dots kind of thing. Well, now I just start with making the U, right? Well, you can't just do that because the lowercase u and the uppercase u are made the same. So if I'm starting with the u here, okay, it becomes that. So if the lowercase u start, but now sometimes when you write too fast, you done made a little loop in the u, on that stem of the u. So now you got to go through and you got to close it off. So now you got double line it until you don't do that because you look like you're scratching out. You got to double line it to make sure everybody knows that this is a U and it's not an E or an I or whatever. Y'all remember all that? We learned all that when you were writing. Remember, because you had to learn how to dot your I's and cross your T's, right? That's what that comes from. Dot your I's, cross your T's, so everybody knows that this is a real word. So that there was part of the process. And yes, I can see how it improves brain function because you're concentrating on making sure it looks right and making sure that folks can read it because you got to make sure it's legible. Reading and proofreading and carry it on, yes, it keeps you in the mindset. So I can see that wholeheartedly how they come with that assumption. Hey, Mama Amy, okay, more love, more love. Remember seeing the movie trailer for The Net, but never seen it. I'm going to encourage you to go watch that movie. Go watch that movie, honey. It's a little dated, but go watch that movie because, honey, you will see exactly what we're doing today. I love dated technology movies. There's people that get paid to ethically hack company servers to see the weaknesses in security. Yes, you know what? I do believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. Uh, at the same time, it's supposed to be a lesson in security, but then you get folks who go rogue, and then boom. Okay. The net 1995 made 110 million in the U.S. Not bad. Was a decent movie, as I recall. Okay, 1995. We're talking 25 years ago, people. I was living in New York at the time. Okay, I was living in New York at the time, but I remember when that movie came out because did I go to the show and see, or did I get it from Blockbuster when it came out? I think I got it from Remember Blockbuster? I think I got it from Blockbuster when it came out. I don't remember seeing it in the movie theater. I was at home. So yeah, I rented it, and that movie there, honey, I'm telling y'all, go punch it up, honey. It might be on YouTube right now for free. Go punch it up and watch that movie, honey. You will see exactly what was going on. Research department, give me the name of that movie with Matthew McConaughey, where it was that movie told the beginning of reality TV, where the cameras followed him around all damn day. And got it, and because that came on, that's around about the same time, and now we got these reality shows that do just that. The cameras walking around, folks acting the goddamn fool on camera, everybody watching your every move. Go, tell me what that movie was. Okay, Amy said I was going to say 1994. Okay, going paperless or not going paperless. The security is the same. If you ask me, your information is for sale in the dark web. The instant is compromised. And it doesn't take much. You know what? I can't fuck with that, Amy, because you're right. I can't fuck with that one at all. I can't fuck with that. Okay. If it's all digital, that I can know who and where everyone is. Okay. Okay. Then okay, what you say? Then can I know who? Okay, if it's all digital, then can I know? Okay, that's a good question, Nick. Because you know what I get tired of? I get tired of everything being digital, but yet I can't talk to anybody because I get tired of hollering at a goddamn computer or at the phone because I can't talk to nobody. Then, and I'm gonna tell you what else that pisses me off. You go through all this bullshit. Now told the computer, okay, sound like computer. Okay, this is this. It asks you your name. What's your account number? What's this? What's this? For you to get to the person, and then by the time you get to a live person, if the goddamn thing don't hang you up, by the time you get to somebody, then they ask you the exact same questions. What the fuck did I go through all this for? If y'all not going to record the information, and then just ask me to verify something to know that you got me. I shouldn't have to give you all this motherfucking information all over again. What's the point? That old child, I'm telling y'all, that burns all of my biscuits every time, honey. All of my biscuits, children. Okay. You said, yes, I do. Okay, okay. I know in Maryland, when you become unemployed, they do put the money on a debit card. I have one just in case I get laid off again. Well, they encourage you to keep the cards. Okay, once they issue you a card, it is yours for the lifetime of the program. The thing of it is that if you have to go back, they will ask you if you still have the old card. If you tell them no, most of the time they will send you a new card, but it was the same number because that's your account number. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, Nick. Okay. Shots out. Y'all shout everybody out. That's so cute. Y'all encouraging each other. I like that. That could be a bad thing, especially if the government decides to be nosy. Or so I've heard. Honey, wait a minute. The government been nosy forever and a day. Okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all know I tell y'all talking as a hobby. So y'all remember back when we had landlines. Okay. And used to always fuck me up. Y'all could never claim and y'all could never tell what the dope dealers were. But damn it, every time we turned around, there was always all this clicking and shit on the phone line. Click, 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 click. Somebody that broke in, or back in the early 80s, we used to have what was known as party lines. And what happened, the lines would be crossed. Okay. So you sit up there talking to your folks and you not got crossed into somebody else's line. So now they sit up here trying to, they then got the tea, honey, because you talking and you dishing, honey, dishing and serving tea well. And then you end up hearing somebody else on the line, or they laughing and cutting up and shit, you know. Or how about you could hear them, they can't hear you because you holler, hey, I'm on the, who is this? Who is this? And they can't never get that. You can't get through because they can't hear you, but you can hear them. Or vice versa. Okay. So now you send them here, somebody telling all your business, bitch, and you just you on the phone talking about, girl, I told you not to tell nobody. I didn't tell nobody. Yes, you did. You had to tell somebody. You the only person I told. And such a, well, bitch, it was a party line back in the day. That's what we called them. Okay, they'll click in a minute. In a heartbeat. And then yet they were sitting up there telling us they didn't know how to get into this and they didn't know how to get into that. And look at this, children. And this is why another movie, y'all heard me say this before. I want y'all to, my Bible. This movie here, I swear, is my Bible to technology and our federal government. And that there's enemy of the state. I swear by that movie because there's a couple of lines up in there that just floors me. But the main one that gets me is when Gene Hackman tells Will Smith about not looking up. He said, because if you look up, they can ID you because they got cameras everywhere from the satellites. Okay. But the thing he said to him that floored me, damn, I thought I had turned this off. When he said, um, that technology, he was talking about the phone lines and stuff. And he said, "Oh hell, we've been doing this. This is old technology here." Because remember, Will Smith first went in and saw his setup or whatever. He said, "Oh, but shit, this is old. This is 20 years old." Okay, and just when he said that, baby, I was floored. I was like, "Oh my god." Okay, so hell, we outdated, and I tell you this all the time. One of the things about the movies is that everything has to go get a rating from the FCC. The FCC is federal. That's the Federal Commission's Communication. Wait a minute, fuck that. I forgot the other C. Okay, but y'all know it's them. Okay. If they don't approve it, it does not go out unless it goes out as an independent movie. Okay, and indie films don't get a lot of the buzz and stuff like big industry distributed movies are carrying on. So something can side through industry, and they could call that creative licensing carrying on and get away with it. But one of the things that I say about movies, if the FCC approved it, that means that it's okay for you to see this. Enemy of the State, honey, was a movie that was seen and shown. And that's that line, oh, this is 20 years old. Baby, that shook me. Shook me. Okay? How folks are following you and they done duplicated your phone and duplicated your watch and this, that, and other to put tracking devices in there. Y'all remember it was in that movie that his security cameras in his house supposedly recording the outside or basically recording him or whoever coming in the house. But they don't tap into the wire to where he's not the one recording the information. They recording his shit. And then remember how at the end, Gene Hackman was able to interrupt his feed to show him, hey, I see you and I want you to see me now. You understand? Yeah. And now what we got the folks telling you to put tape over your damn webcams and shit. Okay. Make sure that when you're watching your cable and carrying on that you turn it, if you don't want to be seen or whatever, turn your cable off and unplug it so that the camera and shit don't be look. I used to say that to my mother back in the day. I used to always say, if they can see us, I mean, if we can see them, can they see us? Because when we had the big television and it would go off and it would slowly go on, you always saw that white dot and it would always fade. And then you always still had that one little white dot directly in the center of the television tube. And it took the longest time before that dot went out. Right? I used to always ask that because when I was a kid, now this is gonna be a little that way. When I was a kid, I used to always dream that when we were asleep, like the dishes would get up and start talking to each other. And like the TV and stuff, like the man in the TV, okay, who turned the light off in the refrigerator and all that. I used to always think that when we were asleep, that the household would get up and everything that was inanimate or didn't want us to know that it was alive would come alive when the humans would go to sleep. Well, that comes from watching cartoons as a kid, because that's what they show us in the cartoons. But it's crazy. Okay, it is crazy, crazy. And I've always thought that. So I used to always ask my mom about that with the TV. Okay, if we can see them, can they see us? And now they done got into it. Yes, they can. Okay, yes, they can, and they do, which is why a lot of the tubing and stuff now going through digital cables and fiber optics and all that kind of stuff. Um, which fiber optics, which was created by a black woman, y'all know that, right? But now they have adulterated it, and now what was supposed to be a grand thing has now become an enemy of ours. You know. So what do we do in those particular cases? Let me go back to the comments, chat. Let me go back. Uh, there we go. Sounds like the plot of a Tom Cruise movie. Okay, penmanship was a class for us in school. How about that? Okay. Have no fear about computer money. In other nations, they need a wheelbarrow of home currency cash to buy a cup of coffee. The computer will fix all nations and end world hunger. They need a messiah. You know what? I don't know if it's going to end world hunger. And um, the reason why I say that is because one of the things that is required for the rich to remain rich is that they have to be everything is balanced. If we got this kind of rich, we got to have the equal amount of poor. You understand? Because see, now the rich got to have something to write off and say they done did. The poor got to have something there to where either there is something they look up to, or it feeds into that negative cycle of, oh, ain't nobody gonna do nothing for me, blah, 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 blah. So I think we're always gonna have poor, but I don't think that the computer is going to necessarily be the answer to end it. Because see, let's look at those who don't have computers. And you may say, yeah, they have a phone, but let's look at that. Let's look at that because y'all know y'all cell phones and stuff have become tethering devices. And let me get back to what I was talking about too. I'm gonna connect these points together. Uh, yeah, you have your phone, but one of the things is that there's some things you just cannot do with your phone. Okay, on a large screen. Okay, which is why everybody's trying to elevate to tablets, or they're now making the phones with bigger screens so that you can sit down here and read everything, get the fine print, this, that, and the other, to where so that when you blow it up, you don't miss nothing. Because how many times y'all on your phone, enlarge it so you can see what the hell it is, but then now you got to scroll because it don't fit. Then you try to turn it and use it horizontally so you can read, but then you only get two lines and it's hard to scroll. So there's just certain things that a phone can't do. So you need a computer, okay, a stationary one, okay? Because look at this: how many folks have lost their goddamn phones? They got all your business in the phone, you know, all your business. So certain things you don't want to do on your phone, you want to wait till you get home to a computer. But what about those who don't have computers? Okay, how do they then manipulate and maneuver? Because remember, the poor folks, if everything is computer money, poor folks ain't got computer money because they don't have computers. Those who are homeless don't have computers or access to one because the homeless children don't. So how are we going to navigate that? So that's what I said. I don't think it will end it. I think what is happening is that we trying to get on the system to where there is a universal currency to where it's going to have the same weight. Right now, the U.S. dollar is losing its value, but it's still worth more. You can go anywhere, do a money exchange, and if you give them $20 in U.S. money, they're going to give you maybe $45 or $50 in their money. You know what I'm saying? So it's always interesting. It's always interesting. But I was saying as far as the phone being your tether, I want y'all to clock this, okay? If we can sit down here on your phone, on your computer, type in an address in Google and use your Google Maps, and you can pull up a house. You can look at that motherfucker's front porch. If you back up a little bit, you can get prior time. You can absolutely see when the car pulled out the garage and all that kind of shit. You could do that from your house. Ask me how I know, because I've done it. Scared the shit out of me. Okay. I did it to my own address. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Okay. And that was recorded time. I didn't do it in real time because I don't know if you can do real time on Google, but you could do past. Okay. Which is why, if ever you want to find out who done fucked up your house or who came to your house or whatever, you could do that on your Google. But what did they do? They gave us Ring on, Ring thing, the camera for your doorbell and shit. You got all these different apps to sit down there to where you can lock your door from your phone and all that bullshit. When the kids come home, you can turn on the camera and see them on your phone, and you can do that with Google. But those particular apparatuses give you real time information. You can do that right now in real time. But you could do Google, you could do past time. So it's already, the technology is already there. So you could do that from your house. From your house. That's a common everyday man. Now imagine what our government can do. Mm-hmm. That part. Me, did you write or type your notes when you were in school recently? No, I didn't. I didn't type them. I did write. Um, because well, sometimes I did. When if I was in a class and I was trying to get some work done, and my instructor was going over some stuff, I would jot it down, because like there were some folks in my class or whatever who I had gravitated to. A couple of them I was attracted to. I think they knew it too. But I would do my notes because I was trying to make them legible for everyone, because I knew they were going to stand the test of time. Because I don't like to throw away books. I don't throw away my school books. And the classes that we were in, the notes that we had, honey, yeah, I still refer to my notes now, even though I've graduated. I go back to my notes and things to understand a couple of things about putting sound together, re-going over the decibels and carrying on what is this, and yeah. But yeah, so I hand wrote most of them, yeah. Okay. Or when you connect your M's and N's, exactly. Okay, now see, you understand, don't you? Because there's 3 humps for the M, 2 for the N. And how many times have y'all went up in there? You didn't hump it. You did the line hump for the M, or the line hump for the N, and they wanted you to put all the curly cues in it because it had to look like you was climbing a mountain on that M. The M always looked like it had 4 or 5 damn humps because you had to start with the thing, then a loop, a loop, a loop, and then loop, a loop for the N. Child bad. Okay. Oh, now that's funny. Wait a minute, I lost my spot. Damn it. Y'all know every time I try to scroll and be cute, I lose my spot with the comments. Oh, shit. Okay, where am I? Okay, here we go. The only formal type of writing that I was taught aside from cursive was military handwriting, which is basically all capital letters, so that the watch standing a log and paperwork had legible handwriting on it. You know what? Now, thank you for that, because I didn't know the military did that. Because like when I'm typing and carrying on, I type in all caps most of the time, and everybody always said, "Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?" And I tell folks, I don't follow them those computer rules because they're stupid to me. Okay, oftentimes, especially when I'm on my phone, I'm typing, I end up hitting the shift anyway, you know, trying to hit the A, and I end up hitting the shift. And then because I'm trying to go, oh, excuse me, everything becomes all capital letters or whatever, or you got mixed mixed words or casing in the wrong spots. You know what I'm saying? So you just start off with a lowercase a, L capital, you know, whatever word you're trying to spell, and then it becomes a whole big to do. So now, in order for it to look right, you got to backspace out and then try to retype everything. So fuck it, rather than go through all that, I just type in all caps on the TV chair. I mean, yeah. Now, if they would ever allow us to bold print, if I could do all caps and bold when I'm trying to cuss a motherfucker out or stress a point, that's when I'm cussing. Okay. If I'm trying to told you something and you hear a tone in my voice and I done with all caps and bold, hmm. Oh, and that's in text messages. Let me say that. Because in emails, most of the time I would when I'm writing something, I have bold print and email. But in the email though, it's all regular writing, upper lower cases, and right sentence structure, and this, that, and the other. So that because sometimes I want it to stand out because there are moments where I'm looking at the screen, but it looks flat when it's not bolded. It just looks flat to me, but I want it to pop. Now, if I'm doing all bold and I give you red letters and all caps, okay. I always got in trouble for separating my letters when I was being taught cursive. Okay. Later, I write in all caps on all official forms I fill out. Didn't realize it was a military thing. You know what I do too, Amy, on official forms? I do the same thing. I remember being put on a waiting list at Blockbuster for new movies. Did you remember that? Yeah, okay. Because they only had X amount of copies or whatever. And you had to wait for so-and-so to bring it back. And then, of course, they wouldn't bring the goddamn thing back, okay, when they're supposed to. And you sit up here waiting on the damn movie. And then, or how about when you was the one that kept the movie, now you got to pay all these goddamn late fees? No, that was Jim Carrey. And the name of that movie was The Truman Show. I love that movie. What movie was that? What movie you talking about? Uh, Eric. It was Ed TV. Okay. Oh, okay. No, I meant they, the government, so they can know everything. Okay, right. Oh, okay, right. Okay. Okay. The Truman Show, 1998, excellent film. Liked it so much, saw it twice the same day. We'll be showing this week on Flix Cable Network. I highly recommend it. Okay. Okay. One of my cousins worked for Bell Tel back in the day, and he would get out to the pole and listen and come in and tell us everything we were saying on the phone. Hateful, wasn't it? But y'all remember that when they used to have to climb up on the poles to fix the line and this, that, and the other? And yeah, and then they had that big ass telephone that they had on their hip, the so they couldn't call you and listen. Yeah, they were listening in, honey. Sit up there dangling in midair on this big ass pole, listening to somebody's conversation. Mm, okay. My mother used to sneak in and listen on the party lines when she was a teenager back in the 60s. But she also pretended to be my grandmother on some occasions and would sit in the window and listen to the neighbors gossip too. She was a pearl before there was a pearl, honey. Oh, Pearl from 227 sitting in that window getting all the tea, honey. Yes, okay. Yes, Amy, you're right. My bad. But the Truman Show was based on a similar principle. Okay. Eric Allgood, Truman Show was my first thought, but that's Jim Carrey. Stellar movie. Ed TV was less moving emotionally, and he was well aware of the camera. Okay. Was that what that was? Ed TV? Is that the name of it? With Matthew McConaughey? No. Is that what that was? Um, Air TV is showing Wednesday on HBO. Check your local listings. Laugh out loud. Enemy of the State was also a great movie. Good call, meets. You better understand. I tell you, Enemy of the State is my Bible, honey. Enemy of the State is my Bible. Okay, when it comes to dealing with technology and the powers that be, that's my Bible, honey. That is my Bible. Okay, okay. The research department got to stick together. Come on now, what you say? Okay, eat the rich. Okay, right. Hey, Roderick, what's going on? Cell phones and computers should be a basic right, and internet should be considered a utility, not a privilege. I got stuck. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we were doing that years ago. I did right, Nick. Okay. Good evening from Birmingham. What's up, Birmingham? Bingham in the house. Okay. Hey, Jerome. I forgot you in Birmingham, Amy. Yeah. You can if the Google is connected to devices who take pictures in real time. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. See, because I don't fuck with it like that. Because no. See, listen, I already think I'm Sabrina Duncan from Charlie's Angels anyway, because she was the detective one on that. Okay. So y'all don't need me to get into Sabrina Duncan mode, honey. Don't. Oh no, ma'am. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. No, 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 no. There is no need for me to get into Sabrina Duncan mode, honey. You understand? So no, I don't need to know all that. I don't need to know that they do that. I wrote all my notes. Okay. Locking the house doors from the cell phone, hard pass. If I had a house with a security system, I'd much rather have it hardwired to the house. A lot of security experts have varying opinions on the wireless home security options on the market now. Hello, sweetie, again. If you're sitting up here, everything is tied to your motherfucking telephone. Okay. All it takes is for somebody to get real crafty. Learn your pen, learn your shit. I mean, y'all look at this. Look at this. Y'all see this in the movies. Okay, y'all seen it in the movies, and I know some of y'all have done it. How many of y'all who got to go through your damn the phone of your significant other because you think they're cheating? It's password protected, right? Or it's fingerprint protected. What do? Y'all wait till he sleep, go put his goddamn finger up there and draw the little thing on the thing so he can open up his phone. Okay. Why? To be nosy. All it takes is for somebody crafty to sit down there, unlock it, open it up. Wait a minute. How about booty calls and carrying on? When you're sitting on your phone and your butt dialing and carrying on, or your titty dialing and carrying on? How about me, like me, when you got so much shit in your hand and you think you done hit the button so that the screen is black, but it ain't. And now you sitting up here testing all this shit, and the next thing you know, you don't realize you done checked somebody some bullshit or something nasty, because I've done that a couple of times. Sit down, oh honey, I done got dick and ass pictures all in this phone, right? Sent it to the wrong somebody accidentally. Was not trying to do that. That was not the goal. The phone was in my pocket. I'm sitting around here moving and grooving, thinking that I'm doing something because I had hit the screen and it was black. Okay. Took the thing out of, you know how you do your screen? Wait a minute. Okay. You put it on your home screen. You got your little icons up and things, right? So then you hit the button so it go black. Okay, it's black, right? It ain't supposed to move. Right? You thinking it's locked, right? But you see how I just did that, right? I tried to cut it off and I hit the button twice and the bitch cut back on, right? So that's what you do with your pocket. So now in the pocket, the phone is jipping and moving and shit. Next thing you just sit down some bullshit and folks sending you back question marks. The fuck is this? Okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay. I write all my notes too. I remember them better that way. Okay, right. Because for me, yeah, you get intimate with it. Because if you're writing it and carrying on, then it's in your mind. Remember what you were saying earlier about cursive writing and carrying on, and helps the brain function and carrying on. Same thing here. You know, if you're moving and grooving with it and carrying on, it takes you on. It takes you on, and it gets you into the thing. You know. I have given all my notes to McMillions. Okay, right. See, a good note taker, honey, they stand the test of time. Okay. Same here. I wrote all of my notes when I was in school. Okay. All right, Jerome Moss is in the Moss. What's up? Are you related to the Clark sisters and all them children? Maddie Moss and them children? Okay, just a sidebar. Okay. The years ago, things was me saying we were doing the Google Watch back in '08. My son showed me how. Okay, see there, exactly, right. Smart home systems can be hacked as easily as your laptop. Well, okay, yep. Keisha can open Red Man's facial recognition on his phone. Really? You have to understand the significance of that. Okay, now Aunt Nikki's kids look just like their daddy, and all of them got the same fucking face. Okay, all this. So she said her daughter Keisha can open up her son's phone on facial recognition because that's how much they look alike. How about that? Catch that. And then what you do with identical twins are carrying on, huh? Facial recognition. Mm-hmm. Uh, you know that you can hack into someone's phone that does the swipe code. Uh-huh. All you have to do is look at the swipe pattern on their dirty screen. Oh, Amy, what you doing, girl? You telling a secret? Yes, that butt dial is a dangerous thing in the two relationships based on that alone because people got caught doing a brother wrong. Oh, and what you say about that? When the Messiah ends world hunger, he's going to save shaky butt strip clubs. Come on, you talking about the Pank? Are you down at the Pank on P Valley? Huh? Are you EJ? You down at the Pank? Come on up in here, Nick. I thought you wasn't coming in here, girl.
I wasn't, but since the baby's asleep and I'm in here cracking up, that damn EJ,
Right.
EJ said the Messiah gonna say, I
Right.
can't.
Okay.
Yeah, so Meech just told y'all, yes, my kids is weird. The oldest and the youngest look exactly alike, and the ones in the middle look exactly alike. So Keisha can open Redman's phone, and like he really flipped out. He made her do it like 8 times. And he was, and this is, they're grown now. And he's like, Mom, no, Mom, look, look, look. He was like, she stole my face. She was like, well, technically, I'm older than you. So you stole my face. And then here comes Brian talking about something. Well, first of all,
Right. Well, now, first of all,
let's be
did he give
clear.
him, first of all,
Yes, like, let's be clear. Whose face all y'all done took. And the only reason why Mook can't open it is because her face is just a little bit rounder. So, yeah, that's the, but you know, my house out in McDonough, Mitch, had the you got the digital lock. You know, when you put your
yeah,
digital code in. So Molly would never take out the trash on time when he was supposed to. So my brother
okay.
used to always say, take the battery out the lock. Because
Oh,
he ain't had no key. He couldn't use the key lock. He had
oh,
no key.
oh.
So he would come to the window and say, Mom, the thing ain't working. I say, yeah, it worked just fine. And it'll work even better when you roll that damn trash can down to the bottom of the driveway.
Okay.
And then put the battery back in there. So yeah, this everything that we have electronically. I remember one time flying back from LA, right? Because I literally only stayed in this apartment in Forest Park for maybe 2 or 3 months. You know how you put in for pest control and stuff like that. So I needed to fly out on a short notice, and I called them and I said, "Well, listen, I'm on a thing for pest control. Will y'all still come if I'm not here?" And the lady said, "No, if you're not there, we just schedule you for another time. When you come back, just tell us." I said, "Okay, cool." So I had no reason to think that I needed to disarm my alarm system or nothing like that because you told me y'all wasn't coming in. I'm
Right.
on my way back. I have a layover in Charlotte. Turn on my phone. You know, you turn on your phone as soon as you land. My phone is going off. Comcast is calling. The police done called. Everybody done called. These fools done went in my house.
Okay.
So I go back and I look at the camera. So I see the man come in. Now this is the shit. You come in, you ain't even come and spray. You ain't spray shit. You walked through my house, came right back out and wrote some kind of note and left it on my kitchen. But he never sprayed. He never did nothing. So I
Right.
call the office and I say, listen, y'all told me, y'all set my alarm off. Somebody came in my house and she was like, no, nobody went in your apartment. I was like, yes, they did. Like, I'm looking at this motherfucker, like, because now I'm getting pissed because I'm telling you, listen, somebody was in my house. And she's
Right.
like, no, no, no. I said, I'm looking at this motherfucker walk through my house right now. I said, and by the way, since he was there to do pest control, he didn't do that. But he left a note on my thing. And then when I got to the house, the note had said that pest control was here. Bitch, well, you didn't do nothing because I watched it.
Right.
So, you know, you set my alarm system off and all kinds of stuff. And that really scared me because if they would have just said, yeah, we'll still come if you want us to, I would have disabled the alarm. I
Right.
had the
Yeah.
alarms and stuff in the house because I have all, you know, even before we went to school, I had studio equipment and all that stuff. So all that stuff was in my apartment and I'm leaving all the time. So it's like we have so much digital stuff people can watch. So even though that was something good for me, you telling me you didn't come in my house, but I just watched you.
Right. Okay.
You know,
Right.
I made them give me back my money because I was like, because what if I was in there and I just didn't feel like opening the door? You
Okay.
came in
How
my
about
goddamn
that?
house. I could have been in there having sex. I could have been butt ass naked. I could have been drunk. I could have been asleep. I could have shot your ass.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying now just think
Right.
about this. Somebody coming in here, you tired, you don't want to answer the door. And I am that person that sometimes depending on who the person is, if you ain't called me before you came, but you might not get in.
Right.
I
How about
might not
that?
open my goddamn door.
How about
And you
that?
walking in somebody's door, that give me just cause to shoot your ass.
Oh.
So the technology, it works. And that thing that you was told, that means you was telling you, it was so real. Redman and Timmy showed me our old house one time and that's when stuff was still dial up. We still had
Right.
dial up.
Right.
We still
Yes.
had dial up when they
Yes.
showed
That's
me
what.
that.
Oh, girl. Yes.
When they showed me that, we still had dial up. And I was like, why is y'all looking at the old house? And Redman was like, Mom, look, because there was a lady that lived next door. She would always cuss out the bad kids because they would be throwing trash and stuff like that. You know, she's from the old school, clean that shit up. And he
Right.
says, hey, there go Miss What you going right there. She coming out there. Because at first, when you first see it, you don't know that you're going to see something move
You
in
go
it. You
see
just
something.
think you
Right.
see
I
the picture.
know. Yeah.
She came right
Right.
down them goddamn steps and was hollering at them damn kids. So you know, like the movies, like you're talking about, that shit, they've been doing that shit for a long time. What they used to say when we was little, Big Brother's watching. He
Okay.
been watching.
Okay. You say that all the time, honey.
Big Brother is
All the
watching. They've been
time.
watching. They've been watching it. And like you said, when the FCC say that we could see something, it's
See?
because it's no longer of importance to them.
And
It's
it's
so
no.
outdated to them, we can see
That's
it.
what it is. It's outdated, and the classification is no longer a E7 or E9 or whatever it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the classification has dropped to where now it's like, okay, this could be public knowledge.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm
Yep. Yep.
saying?
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
y'all see me, Leah, and Red always talk about how much the government lie. They lie their
Okay.
asses off. They be knowing all kinds of shit and seeing all kinds of shit. And listen, I remember my husband and them, they was like one of the first troops to get the night vision goggles
Uh-huh.
because, you know, when they went to Desert Storm, I remember him bringing them things home and me looking in pitch black and be able to see my goddamn hand in front of my face. Like the technology and stuff that we
Wow.
have and possess is so crazy. And they even better now. Like they was the shit back then. They so
Right.
much more high tech now because you could see it from the heat sensors and all kinds. Man,
Right. Right. Well, see, remember, wait a minute. Let me take you 100. Remember Silence of the Lambs?
yes,
Remember that? Because the killer had the damn goggles on. The
he
dudes
did. He
He had the
did.
goggles looking at Jodie Foster, and she's
He
scared.
sure did.
You know what I'm gonna say this because that there was a testament to her acting because that bitch was scared half to death. And you saw that in them motherfucking blue goggles. That bitch was scared to shit in their goddamn dog. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
acting her ass off. But that's my sidebar. But in that, the dude is looking at her, going through all her facial expression. He didn't even put his hand in her face. She couldn't see
Right.
shit.
She couldn't see
Okay,
shit.
didn't know shit. Okay, but thank God for her hearing because he did something. That's when she blew his ass up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, technology. I mean, it like we say, it could be used for such good, but in the wrong hands, honey. Because when you was talking about earlier that when I first came in, I was hearing you say how the people will just do fucked up shit
just
just
because
because you can, just because you can, you will go in and with a click of a button ruin somebody's entire life.
entire life. I mean, wait a minute. Hold up. Let's take this all the way back to Trading Places with
Oh,
Eddie Murphy.
come on, come on,
Okay,
with that dollar bet.
the dollar bet, and they wasn't even as computer savvy as they could have been.
Yeah, they did that without
They did all that
technology.
without all of the scientific technology.
That was
Okay,
the
as
power of
advanced
being
as it
rich.
was,
The
you
power of
know
being rich.
exactly. So
And you
now,
think about this, Meech. Think about this. How we look at the entertainment business, right? And out of
right,
to what may seem to people, somebody from out of nowhere just blow up.
right,
And we looking around like, this motherfucker can't sing. But they got platinum records, they at the top of the charts, they got endorsements, they got this, they got that. That makes me think about the trading places thing. Like, all right, well, we are just gonna take this motherfucker over here just because we can.
right.
You put a dumbass song on the goddamn radio that doesn't make no goddamn sense. Shout out to all the mumble rappers. Sorry, y'all. But shit that don't make
I
no sense. As as opposed to somebody, as opposed to maybe a conscious rapper
right.
who's giving a message to make us be positive and telling us what we need to do. But you'll put the motherfucker that's high on lean on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, who did it?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the man behind the curtain? Who's the Wiz?
Oh, come on, Wiz. Did you go there?
Who's the Wiz?
Did you go there? Who's the wizard? Who's the
Right.
Wiz?
Who's the
He's a
Wiz?
whiz and he
And he
lives
lives.
in
And honey, y'all know I be old school to the death of me. Lily's 6 years old and she done seen the Wiz a couple times because that's grandma's favorite movie.
Okay.
It's hard to explain to kids that that's Michael Jackson. I'm just saying.
Right. Okay. Right.
It was hard when I had to explain it to Marley back in the day when I showed it to him. I said, that's Michael Jackson. That's a scarecrow. He said, that's not Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson white. I said, boy, God, he's not.
Oh no.
But
Not
I
Michael Jackson White
digress.
and his poor
I
babies. Poor
digress. I
babies.
digress. I digress.
Poor
They say
babies.
Michael Jackson was born a beautiful brown man and died a beautiful white woman.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Well, let's go to the comments and then I'm gonna go to another subject.
Okay.
Um. Wait a minute. Start here. Nikki in the house. Hey baby. Hey baby.
Hey, Henry.
I heard about them. I didn't use them at all. Glad I don't. Okay. Hey Aunt Nikki.
Hey,
I've
Leah.
actually gotten into a phone by accident just by selecting the notification for text messages in the lock screen. Definitely regretted that one. Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, for the record, I
Okay.
leave my goddamn phone unlocked. I'm gonna tell you this: well, first of all, I'm not doing nothing that I ain't got no business doing. But if I am, you go through my phone because you were searching for some shit and then you looked in there and you found some shit. That's what you get for
Well,
going through my
that's
phone.
what you get.
I don't,
Hello.
I don't go through nobody's phone because at the end of the day, baby, when you, like I just said, when you go looking,
Hello.
And you ain't got to search because when you get that feeling, you know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All facts, Nikki. Facts, Aunt Nikki. You ain't never lied. Shaking my head at the government, honey. To
Yes.
hell with those damn mumble rappers. This discussion also reminds me of the Eddie Murphy movie, The Distinguished Gentleman, where they manipulated the masses. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Okay, that's a good one to watch too.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that movie. Says I gotta go, y'all. Okay, baby.
Bye. Good night,
Kisses. Thanks for
Amy.
coming on up in here, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Amy come up in here and drop some jewels, honey. I'm gonna call her
Yes, you do.
Batgirl, honey, because she reminds me of how Batgirl does.
Just
Okay.
drop it, and
Remember
go
how
and go on
Batgirl
about
used to come
business.
in, honey? Said that Batman and Robin sit up there, they fight. Batgirl come in, kick ass, honey, and then she leaves.
Uh-huh. And be back
and
in
then
her
go
father office.
and
Look back
then
in her
get back
daddy
into their
office.
office and switch back to Barbara Gordon and be like, fuck it, honey.
Yes, honey.
What happened?
What happened? Oh my God, Batman, are you all right?
Right. Okay, hey, Batgirl. That's my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But now let's go here because this too is about learning how to better yourselves. Oh, she
Okay.
heard that. I didn't know you were still here. She caught that. Yeah, Batgirl. I'm gonna call you that, honey. Batgirl.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The research department, honey, is Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I love it. I love it. Don't make me get on the giddy, honey. Oh, this damn apple juice is working me over, honey. Okay.
You all right?
I said, oh, it's just working me, child. It's real juice. Well,
Okay.
it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. It's concentrated in water. So, concentrate, they take the water out to put it back in, which makes
Mm-hmm.
no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
never
Makes no sense.
understood that. We gotta have a show about that
Okay.
one day. I never understood that.
I never understood that either. Okay. But here's the thing. How many of you know how to sell yourself? Okay. When you write your resume and carrying on, are you responsible or do you know how to write your own bio? When you go to talking about yourself or if you are someone who is about to speak somewhere and somebody tells you, okay, give me a bio so I can know how to introduce you. Did you know how to put that together? Did you know how to write up your own bio? I think I've talked about this one time before, but I wanted to enhance it this time because oftentimes we sell ourselves short. I know I'm talking directly to myself because in this, we're here, we're coming out and we're dealing with the pandemic and carrying on. And yet I have been hesitating and holding my feet to the floor because trying to understand how I can brand myself and this, that, and the other. Now, what I have done um, was I've written a bio, okay? And when you look over your life, oftentimes, if you're not where you think you want to be, you look at yourself and be like, damn, okay? And then when you sit down and put all of your accomplishments on paper, when you write that bio, hi, Demetrius Taylor was born in Detroit, Michigan, and da 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 da. Do it, he started school here, he did this, and then when you start to get through it, and then read it back, be like, I done did what? Oh shit, I did that. Oh fuck, I did that. Damn, I did that too. When you
Well,
start to
here's my thing though. When I used to work at the label when I was managing the artists and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
I am a hell of a bio writer for everybody else.
That way we go.
For
That part.
everybody else. You know how many times I done tried to write my own bio?
Right.
And every time I look at it and be like, nah. For some reason, like I can make you seem like you was the sun, the moon, the stars, and
Uh-huh.
every planet in the damn universe. when I go to write it about myself, I don't know if it's because I don't want to sound vain talking about myself. I don't know what it is, but I can never get one out for myself. I just can't.
It's probably a combination of that because see, we've all been taught not to be boastful, not to
Yeah.
brag. You do stuff not for the adulation and the applause, honey. You do it, if it's your
Mhm.
passion, it's not work and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But oftentimes when you sit down, and sometimes I think too, you concentrate on trying to structure it.
Mhm.
If you take the structure out of it, just write down your accomplishments. Okay. When you sit down and say, okay, yes, I used to work for this label. We did this. I'm a songwriter. I did this. I did this. We did this, and then we did this, and then we put together this tour. I was a contract negotiator here. When you start to do that, and then just write it down,
Mhm.
then walk away from it.
Okay.
Walk away from it. Give yourself about a day, and
Mhm.
then come back and look at it. Because it's
Okay.
like, bitch, you did this.
Right.
Bitch, you did all of this, and you international, and raised the family, and
Now, see, that's the things because a lot of times, like when we talk about ourselves, some of the things that we feel like is just regular everyday life, you don't put that
you
in.
know that's
But
why
when
I
I'm
say
writing
put
for
it all
somebody
down.
else, it's like, oh my God, he has done this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I
Right,
raised
right,
it.
right.
But then when I want to talk about raising my own damn kid, I don't want to put that in there. I'm like, okay, you're a
No,
mom and
but that's why it goes in there because I learned my mother did this to me once because she was talking about my gift of wanting to be. I've always been entrepreneurial. It's just that for me, I have always backdoored my way around some shit. I've done
Mhm.
enough to where okay, I hustle to make sure I got a bill paid, not to sit
Right,
down there to establish wealth. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So my mother would sit down there. She get this. She said, "Oh yeah, Michi, he'll sit down there. Yeah, because I don't think I'm that good of a seller. Number one, but
Mhm.
I've always been in sales. Okay,
Um,
I done sold candy. I done sold Jafra. I done sold Tupperware. Lord knows I done sold Avon a couple of times. And when she said that, it hit me. I was like, damn, you know,
well, I know
maybe
I'm
I
not a
do.
good seller. That's why like I really have to go deep in for this marketing for Alo Nana as well as for the other stuff for the for us to raise money for the campaign because I'm not like I don't like to try to coerce somebody to buy something.
Oh, girl, now wait a minute. Let me tell you something. The older I get, the worse that feeling becomes. I can't stand the feeling like I'm badgering you because I don't like being badgered.
Me either. That's what I'm saying. Like, how when somebody trying to get you to buy something, and you like, I really don't want to even.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
need that
do it.
shit.
I don't need you to keep telling me 5,000 times about your goddamn product. I heard
Right.
you the first 999 times. If I ain't came
Right.
up here, okay, you ain't gonna
Exactly.
make me come over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
And that's what
then
I feel like. I don't want to make nobody else feel that way
And,
because
I,
that's how
and
I
I'm
be
the
feeling.
exact same way with that, which is why what I keep saying, I need to get a team of people who don't mind that type of rejection.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
That's what we got to do. We have to put
I
together a
need
team of
somebody on the
people that
team
can market
that
all of
that's
our
gonna
stuff
that's gonna do
without
that,
feeling like that.
and
Yep.
and and and, and means nothing because see they go in with the mindset of okay, it's just like with flyers. Okay,
Hmm.
they tell you when you make flyers, however many you make, expect that 10% of that amount is going to show up to your event.
Right. I have heard that before. Yep.
Okay, so if you make 5,000 flyers,
You shouldn't
okay,
expect more
expect
than
only
500 people.
500 people to show up.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, which means, and then of course, I've always thought that flyers were a waste of money because you do all this advertising for it to go in the trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
When I used to do we would call them A1 takeovers. One day I'll put one of the pictures up. And what I would basically do is I would buy the club out for the night.
right?
And all of our artists will perform with other artists. We get the DJs from the radio stations and whatnot. But this particular club, like we would get all the door sales and half the bar and stuff like that. So we used to get the the posters along with the flyers. So the stores,
Yeah.
everywhere that we went, we would ask the stores, can we put these up? Can we put these up? Can we put these up? So it wasn't like the regular paper flyer. It would
Right.
be the poster, the hard, thick poster board, and we would put them up and put them up. Those seems to work because the people would come. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and like you spending money. Remember, everybody used to have to go to Staples to get their shit printed out, and it wasn't as easy or as affordable as it is now. You the
Right.
makeup, the design, you go. Thank God, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Thank God I had to hook up at Staples.
How about the see
Baby,
there?
he
See
used to print
there?
my
You gotta
flyers, my
understand.
posters, my bios and stuff when my girls was doing their shows, and we had the color bios with their pictures on the front, like almost like a what you call the thing, like the little leaflet.
Yeah.
We would do like the little leaflet. So they picture, matter of fact, it wasn't their picture, it was their logo. It was a big, they look, McMillions and Keish, they was Diamond and Princess back then. The name of the group was Unique. So
Okay.
it was a big it was a diamond that Timmy had drew a diamond,
Uh-huh.
and the diamond had a crown on it. That was their logo because it was Diamond and Princess. So the diamond had a crown on it, and then when you opened it up, it would be pictures of them inside, and then their bio was inside. And
Mm-hmm.
baby,
Mm-hmm.
he did it all for me in color. He used to give me up, the hookup, because if you ain't had no hookup, shit gets costly.
In more ways than one.
All that for advertisement. And now look, we can put it all over the internet, but then it's like, well, who might actually see it? If you on my page, are you
This is
sharing it?
this is their damn algorithms of making sure you got numbers up and carrying on
Hmm.
and trying to get followers, and then you got all these little companies talking about something. Well, if you pay, you know,
We
X
could get you
amount of
more
dollars,
followers.
we could get you 10,000 followers or this, that, and the other. I'm like, I don't know you for money like that.
Exactly. And it's
Because
like,
who's to say
how do I
that,
know
okay, I pay you this $150, $150. I got $10,000, 10,000 followers today, but tomorrow they all unfollow me because you done got your coin.
right. Like I remember one time on my Instagram, I like my numbers was going up. I didn't really care, before I didn't care about followers and stuff. I just start caring when we start doing like the lives and we doing our shows and all kinds of stuff.
Right,
That's when I
right.
started caring. So I saw my numbers starting to go up. As an old person, I had like 800 and some followers, and I was like, oh shit, go
I'm
ahead.
doing something right.
And then it was like I would see some days it would go up and some days it would go down, and it's like some people will follow you so that you could follow them, and then they
Right,
unfollow you.
right,
And I'm like,
right.
what the hell is that all about? So
Listen,
whatever number it's at is going to be at, because I'm not following nobody else.
listen. My whole thing is this, you know, here, even here on Facebook. Facebook, I got close to 5,000 friends. I had to go through and start deleting folks because I'll be wanting to add new people. That deal was
Hmm.
supposed to be a marketing tool because I'm here. Now that's my Demetrius page.
Hmm.
The There's a second page that's Big Meats that's supposed to be the personality page.
Hmm.
I have fun with it because I'm like, okay, this is too much to be trying to operate 2 or 3 different pages.
You remember we
I
had got the girl that
accidentally,
operated our Dish and T page on Instagram, and then we ain't heard from her.
I ain't heard from him. Uh, I accidentally created another Demetrius Taylor page. That's the one we meet the brown shirt on. That's mine, but I don't fuck with it because I was playing with my phone. Remember talking about these Big Brother watching, playing with my
Hmm.
fucking phone. I'm sitting up here trying to do a fingerprint thing from my bank, right? I said, well, we could get you the double security, do the fingerprint thing.
Right.
Well, the fingerprint thing got to be connected to the phone. So the phone is sitting up here trying to get me to fingerprint this, that, and the other, blah, blah. And it was confused. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't want this for the phone because all them damn security measures on the phone and carrying on when you got
Hmm.
to keep putting in your password to use the phone, that aggravates the shit out of me.
Oh Lord.
It does. I can't stand that. When I want to pick this bitch up and use this goddamn phone, I don't want to have to keep remembering what the passcode word to do this. Okay.
Well, you know what mine is. Well, it's so funny. I only have mine on there just in case I lose it. Because soon as
Right,
somebody say, if somebody else got my phone that I know, I'd be like, oh, the password is.
right. So,
Everybody around me know my password. That's all. I only put mine on there just so if I lose
so we're here, you know, in that because that doesn't make any sense to me. But at the same time of it not making sense, I understand it because these phones have become our lives now, and we're able to put all of our shit in a phone,
it.
and we're able to let this phone be the bane of our existence, child. How many of y'all have lost your mind because you couldn't find your damn phone? How many of
All the
y'all have
time.
turned around to go back home to get your phone because you left it?
All the
Okay,
time. But
you
y'all
know,
remember, us people up in this age group that we in, I don't know why we keep forgetting that we ain't always have a phone in our goddamn pocket.
listen to me very
Because
carefully.
remember, back in the, we talked about this on another show before. I could remember every phone number from when we was little.
Yeah,
Ask
yeah,
me what Millions or
yeah,
Keisha or Timmy or
yeah.
Redman or Molly's motherfucking phone number is. Child, I don't know.
Right, right. And
But I
because
remember my damn phone number. I remember our phone number, my grandmother phone number, my
right,
aunt phone number, my cousin phone number. Hell, I
right.
remember Brian and Brian's mom phone number from when we was like 9 years old. That don't make no sense. These phones, as smart as they are, have made us
Dumb as
stupid.
fuck.
So if we lose our phone and we don't know nobody's number, what you gonna do? Who you calling? You stranded. Who you calling? You better
Mm,
write down some phone numbers and put them in your wallet
well,
just in case.
well.
I
And
listen,
all of that, but yet we don't know how to build our own bios.
right.
You know what
We
I'm
can set
saying?
up a
Hell,
profile for any goddamn thing on the internet.
y'all, but wait a minute. You set up the profile, and again, because this is why I'm asking about this, how do you sell yourself? But even on the date lines and stuff, the children don't even fill out the information on the little date lines. Call
Right.
me and we'll talk. I'm not good with this. How do you compete with somebody else if you're going for the job? If you're
Mhm.
uh, an entrepreneur trying to get your product out there, how do you compete? I do body oils, I'm an author. Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of people who do these damn oils, and y'all know here as many books out here on the damn thing. Who, what makes me me, or
Right.
what I have that's going to get you to want to buy my product. So
Right.
it comes, and I don't need a shtick. What I need is you know, the realness about who I am. So how do I project that? How do I sell that? You know,
Yeah.
and I question myself on that constantly because
Me too, because
I
I know that your product is great. I know that my product is great. We put a lot of time and stuff. My product is not just about skin care or hair care because you can use it wherever because it's all natural. But we made it in the minds of the entrepreneurship for
right,
me to leave a legacy for my granddaughters. You
right,
know what I'm saying? And it's like, but it's like I know what I'm saying or I know how I'm feeling, but how do I get that across to everybody else?
exactly. And then understanding that you've heard me say this the other day about wanting to be a household product.
Right.
I have to treat myself like I am a household product. Just like we talk
Hmm.
about brand names and carrying on, I got to have my Miracle Whip. We were talking about that the other day.
Right, right,
You
right, right,
know,
right, right. Hmm.
got to have my Miracle Whip. Well, and y'all know how we do with who it is. For those of y'all who follow us faithfully, y'all know Dish and T. We love y'all for that, honey. Y'all know I'm on with the show. The Princess
Right,
Leia, honey. Yes. Amy, honey. Miss Batgirl will come up in here, honey. Hey, I got to
right,
get it. Buck, honey.
right,
Buck come up in here. Okay, we done developed a whole research department on
right.
Buck because he gonna make sure we
Okay.
did. You know what I'm saying? For those who follow us and carrying on, we got new children, Road to Stardom over there on YouTube. EJ that came
Hmm.
up in here, and become a following and things of that nature.
Right,
Uh, those who watch and follow us, and they gravitate to us because what we offer,
right,
it speaks volumes to what we have to give. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And so, because of that, I know that it's worthwhile, but now it's because how do I sell me?
Right.
Without sounding like a
Being
broken record,
boastful, like
without
we not being
sounding like
boastful.
right. You know what I'm saying? And so when we do that, and I want to take this across the board because, like I said, when I wrote my bio,
Mm-hmm.
writing my bio when I had to write the book because on the first book. Wait a minute, let me read it. Let me read what I wrote on the
Yeah,
back.
read it.
Okay, for well, this is the blurb. Okay, the blurb is Big Meech, actor, singer, playwright, director, producer, and humanitarian, hails from Detroit, Michigan, currently living in Atlanta, Georgia, and is the creator and host of Dishing Tea with Big Meech on the Blog Talk Radio Network. He enjoys cultural events, coffee houses, live poetry, and old black and white movies. Now that there, it took me forever to write that.
For,
It took me forever to write that. And the reason why is because now y'all know old Brilliant kicked in, right? Old Brilliant
mm-hmm.
wanted to make this, I'm sitting up here trying to put down, 16,000 words like I'm writing a storybook,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
and that's the other thing. You don't want to make it be too lengthy. How do you say the important things and still not make it be to where people like, oh my God, I'm
right.
tired of reading.
Number one. Okay. And that all he got to do is talk about himself, you
Right.
know,
But that's your bio. That's what the hell you're supposed to be doing.
right.
So it's
You know, so it becomes that. Okay. Uh, uh, that there is part of what this is, and I bring this to the table because I know many of us go through that, and especially now in this season of COVID, Corona, in this season of vote now, what are we doing
mm-hmm.
for this? In this season of what do I need to do to pick myself up by the bootstraps because the
Right.
world has changed yet again, you
Whew.
know. And now we got to hustle. And you got to get your hustle on. It's not about grinding because see, y'all know how I feel about that term. Grinding is just like if you grind the gears on your car
Right.
or
It's
on
not
a
a good
clock.
thing.
If
It's
they're not
not good.
lubricated, honey, they're going to lock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's how I attribute grinds. Oh, I'm out here on the grind, honey. No, you
Right.
out here on your hustle. Okay.
Right.
And you know, and
Right.
and I know it's nuances like that, but there's power in the words. And like I
I was
break
gonna say,
down
yeah, there's power in the words. It's
that
power in the words.
grinding, oh, that's
You
the
know
and
who
so
you know who else had remember when we first started coming up with ideas for Mook Show,
yeah.
and I had came up with the struggles to success. And Mook said she went upstairs and she meditated. She said, Mom, I think that's a good name. But when you think about struggling, it's not a good thing. She
Right.
said, I don't think I want to use and I had to sit there and think. I said, you know what? You're right. Because we had I think it was all of us, we had just talked about the power of words. And if it has a negative content or something, you could pull that negative energy into what you're doing.
And so what it is. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I was like, wow, that just let me know that she had been listening. I was like, okay, girl. Because I was like, you absolutely right.
Okay. Exactly. Okay. So with that, how is it that we get this together? How
Hmm.
can we move forward? How can we now become either our own cheerleaders, or how do we get people in our team or on our team that's going to
Hmm.
help to illuminate that? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because oftentimes, the family members are going to say, we always say that, well, mama, you gonna say that.
Hmm.
There are those who we can put stuff together. I mean, who we could bring into our camp to put stuff together that will
Right.
let us shine without the fluff. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Without the
Hmm.
damn fluff. What's this Eric say? Shout out to the show behind the show. This is why
I
I
know
am
that's right.
creating the Nightwork Network to capitalize on all of our combined knowledge and influence. I like that Nighthawk Network. You
Come
better
on now.
Nighthawk your goddamn network. Ha!
Let, let Eric come
Nighthawk.
on over to the GDP. Get them
See,
on in.
okay, okay. Visual perception is outward, and if you enjoy helping other people, it comes easily. Find an idol and write about them and change the name back to you. Warren Buffett and
Oh,
Obama are my idols. Now, you know what? That's cute.
that is
That's
cute.
cute.
I never thought about that.
Oh, that is cute.
Because as
Find
we
an
sit here
idol.
talking, I'm thinking about Meech. Now, remember when I won my award, right?
Right,
And we know that that wasn't the best experience, right?
right, right,
I ain't gonna talk bad about the people, but it wasn't the best experience. But at
right,
the end of the day, they can't take away that I won that award.
right, right.
It's something that they can't take away from me. It's something that I should be able to put in my resume or in my resume and bio. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, I thought about it like, man, that night was so messed up. Like I,
Right,
I was so mad about the night. Thank
right.
God you were there. Look, y'all don't even understand. Shout out to my baby. Because we were sharp
Okay,
as shit. First of all, we were sharp as shit. We
baby,
shut
you
it
hear me
down
right
when we went
now.
in that motherfucker, first of all.
Showed out, honey.
But if you
Showed
wasn't
out.
there, I don't know what I would have done because it was a horrible night. But like I said, they can't take that away.
Right.
Even your accomplishment, Meech, all the stuff that you do, all the things that your name goes on and that you are part of making a difference politically, but not just in entertainment, but politically, the differences that you're starting to make. Can nobody take that away? It's
Girl,
true
you know
and
what?
it's
And
fact
that's
and it's
what's
documented.
scary. It's scary a little bit because I'm like, really? When we did the groundbreaking, I still got to send mama those pictures. I still haven't sent it to my mama. When we did that groundbreaking ceremony and I got my
Uh-huh.
shovel and my hard hat, my very first shovel and a hard hat,
Yes.
I was like, what is this? You know? And to know that my voice is helping to make a difference. And then to know that, when it's time for me to up the ante and kid. And I've always said this
Mm-hmm.
because I like being in school. I like intelligence. I like having credentials. You know,
Right.
not to sit up there to tell everybody, oh, I'm MD, PhD, blah 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 blah. I don't like throwing my letters out like that. And I only got one. I just got my bachelor, so I got a BFA.
Right, right, right,
All
right.
right,
Tell
but
people we was proud at 50, honey.
hello,
Okay, because
I
that ain't
have
an
it.
easy thing for us to have done.
No,
And
okay,
I'm on a brain, what I called it, a mental break from
right,
my master's right now for this term. But it's something that we do.
right. You know. And because of that, I've always said and looked at opportunities. Okay, the more I can become certified in something, the more that I can build my value.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is how I build my value. And we go back to study to show thyself approved. You ain't studying for somebody else. You studying for you.
Exactly. Because you're
The
gonna have to
study
learn
is
something.
for you so that
What did we
you
tell
can
Lily? You got to
show.
learn something new every
That's
day.
right.
You
That's
need to
right.
learn. I don't care how old you get, you're not gonna ever be finished learning. Because the minute you think you finished learning, you might as well close your eyes and ask whoever you pray to tell you to come on.
And then you have it.
Man. Now, let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of us getting our letters and stuff, right? Did you
Right.
feel different when you got to put the BFA up next to your name?
I haven't yet.
I did. I put mine on Facebook. I
I
put mine
haven't
on
yet
Facebook. And I don't know why. One day I just did it. And it made me feel so good.
because it's
Like,
an
girl, you got some
accomplishment.
letters. Girl, you got some
Because
letters.
it's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? It is
Mm-hmm.
an accomplishment. And the struggle. I still have to remember to say that I'm the class of 2019.
I know, yes.
You
Because
know what I'm
I'm
saying?
2020. And I think for
Right.
me, it's a little harder because COVID came and I didn't even
Right.
get my graduation. COVID
Right.
done came and fucked up all my shit.
you know?
By the time it's time for the graduation that they have rescheduled for us, it's time for me to get my master's graduation. But it's
Well,
okay. It's okay. My cap and
okay.
gown's still upstairs in the closet. I should have told them to give me back some goddamn money.
Buck say, yes, Big Star, knowledge is key. Nikki got that sexy brain.
Ah, thank you. Thank
Intelligent women have
you.
always been attractive to me. Okay.
Listen, and just like I tell my granddaughter, and Meech will tell y'all, my granddaughter is very, very pretty. And you know what I tell her? We ain't gonna have no pretty dummies. Okay?
Right.
Point blank period. They say, oh, she's 6. I don't give a rat's ass how old she is. I'm gonna tell you
Right.
what, honey, when you get older, even though you still might be cute and stuff when you get older, being pretty ain't gonna get you that far.
Listen, let me tell
That,
you something.
ain't nobody gonna want no
Whoever
dummy.
said that, whoever kept saying, "Oh, she's only 6," can kiss my
Hmm.
ass. And I'm gonna say, and I say this, say it like this, because if it was the other way around, and you telling her how pretty she is, honey, you wouldn't say, "Oh, she's just 6 years old. Don't treat her like no grown ass woman."
Right, right.
You wouldn't say that.
Hmm.
Okay, you would not
Call it
say
me.
that. You would sit down there and give her all kinds of accolades. Oh, she's gonna have all of the boys that her do and squeeze
Yeah,
their
that
hair.
bullshit. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just because you say, "Oh, we're not gonna have no pretty dummies," honey, you're gonna have a brain. Oh, she only 6. No,
Mm-mm.
uh.
And let me tell you that, and I told everybody with this homeschooling stuff, I didn't think, because remember, I was like, oh, Lord, shout out to all the parents that's going to have to homeschool their kids. Little did I know I was going to volunteer to do it for my granddaughter. Let me tell you something. I'm up with her every morning. I wake her up, I make her breakfast, I log her on, and we sit there and go to school. And
Right.
I sit back on the couch. So if it's something she don't understand, I said, you sure you getting it? Because if you ain't getting it, raise your hand. They have to take breaks where they work on their own. I sit right there with her to make sure she learning it and to make sure that she getting it. These kids, when we, like you say, we tell them how cute they are, how handsome they are. You're telling the girls how pretty. You're telling the boys how handsome, but you're not encouraging them to be smart and to learn. You are doing them a disservice because ain't nobody gonna give a shit about how you look unless that's your job to look good. But you know what I broke down for her, and I don't know if she understand it or not, but I broke it down to her in a way that she will get it. I said, you
Uh-huh.
know how you talk to me and Uncle Meech about your acting and stuff like that? She said, yeah. I said, well, imagine one day grandma can't go to a meeting with you and you go in there and you can act your little butt off and they want to give you a contract, but you can't read. I said, Lily, you know what they could tell you that contract say? I said, they could tell you they're going to give you $1 million and a nice house and they're going to buy your mom everything and all kinds of stuff. But you don't read the contract because you don't know how to read. And guess what the contract might say? She said, what? I said, it's going to say that they taking all your money and they not giving you nothing. You should have seen her
Right.
eyes get big and cute in here. You have to talk to them like that because first of all, if you could get on here and show me everything on the goddamn laptop, iPad, tablet, phone, and every motherfucking thing else, you can understand that. Her eyes got so damn big. I say, yup, that's why it's important that you read. Because she had got to where, like, if I think she can't sound out a word, I'll say, look, come on, let's sound it out, even when she's not in class.
Right.
So her little
Right.
ass started looking at me all crazy, like, Grandma, I ain't in school.
Right.
And I was trying to make her understand it. It don't matter if you're in class or not. You need to learn all the time.
Right.
Y'all better
Okay.
teach
How
these
about
damn
that?
kids.
Uh-huh.
Being cute and being handsome only gonna get them so far. Being cute, being handsome, being able to throw a ball, uh, bounce a ball, sing
Right.
a note, act or whatever, it can get you the job, but
Right.
it
But
ain't
now
gonna
you gotta
keep
keep
you
it.
your money.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But they say talent got you there. But
Mm,
what is it? It's your attitude and stuff that keeps you there.
right. You
Okay.
got to be willing to learn. You got to always be willing to learn, and don't be scared. Especially if you think that your kids can go into entertainment and stuff like that, you got to teach them that they have to know their business and not be scared to ask about it.
You know what? Here's the other thing too, because again, in writing your bios, hold on. Roderick says, "I'm the same way. I don't like to throw my letters up, and I hate when my friends do." Okay.
Why,
Okay.
Roger? But ain't you proud of it though?
Oh yeah.
Roger a nurse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't be proud when you put that RN behind your name. That let motherfuckers
Okay.
know that you studied for real. That you had to go for a long time.
Okay. Okay. Eric said, "Say that, Nikki." I tell my goddaughters the same thing. Okay, preacher,
Yeah.
better tell them, honey. Baby girl,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
always in
don't
school
you?
for life. Okay.
Right.
Oh, and Amy put this link up. Here's the link about cursive writing. Okay.
Okay.
Leaving coming back from the discussion earlier. Thanks, sweetie. Okay,
Thank
that
you.
girl has returned.
Yes, honey. She better come
Sure
on
did,
through here.
honey. Gave one old kick, honey. Gave it. Aha. Okay.
Yes.
One old. I've got to go to get that article because, child, they never should have left it alone. I mean, took it out. It doesn't make sense to me.
I have
I'm
no I know I don't understand it. Like, so you think that computers are so important that they ain't never supposed to know how to write shit?
right.
You know what it made me think of?
Well,
The lady, you know, we called her my great grandmother. Remember, I told you my mom, my grandmother's friend is one of the people who took care of us. She was like our nanny, right?
okay. Uh-huh.
And I
Uh-huh.
remember she could not read or write. And I remember being a little kid trying to understand why she would mark an X for her name.
Right.
And
Uh-huh.
I didn't, you
Uh-huh.
know, I didn't get it till I got older. And I'm like, y'all better teach y'all kids how to motherfucking write and shit.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it used to crack me up because I never, you know how when you little and some stuff just go over your head at first. She
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
always had a newspaper, so I didn't, you know, I didn't ever catch that she couldn't read. She always had the newspaper open like she was reading, but what she was doing with the newspaper was looking through the newspaper to get the numbers to play the number.
Oh,
Like
okay.
she
So
would look
someone
at different
closer. Yeah.
articles and pull numbers to play
Yeah.
the street number.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
Roger
I
said,
better
yes,
get
I'm
you.
proud of it, but my friends use it to bring others down. At times, I was raised to be humble at all times. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you know what? Yeah. Because you know when folks
Well,
are
that's
being
what we were
braggadocious.
saying. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like that's why it's hard to write our bio. Meet your man
Oh, this
here.
child. Now, my daughter, how did she get ready for her Bigo performance? Honey?
Whoa.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You know what it is? Y'all, are y'all hip to Bigo, honey? Bigo, that little app, child. She tried to get
Ah.
me to come on it. It's some little app, honey, and they let you come up in here. Basically, it's another platform to create a show or whatever. But somehow this app pays you some kind of way, and I'm trying to. Okay, it's all about your numbers, honey. It's all about you get so many people, you can earn up to $300 a month, and then I guess it goes. However, I got to look into that to get the algorithms and things. But the children now are using this platform, honey, to perform pageantry, spoken word and dissertations and shit. Somebody was on last night, honey, going. I was like, oh, honey, okay, this child had fallen asleep, honey, left her phone on. This child just a going and just a going. I'm like, yeah, okay, but that's another little platform, child. But my daughter over here, honey, she done took over my bathroom. Okay, shit. Okay, stop. Okay, this child. Wait a minute. Well, they stopped making it a requirement for Common Core learning, so many schools dropped it to focus on the other bullshit with more Common Core. Conservative legislators have largely been responsible for about 24 states reinstating cursive into the curriculum, citing both uh, brain development studies and patriotism. Really, the article is really interesting. Sorry to disrupt the conversation. I just remembered the link a few months ago. Girl, I'm glad you did, honey. You ain't no interruption, honey. That's information. That's what that is. All that's information, baby.
It absolutely
It's
is.
never an interruption, honey. When we telling and giving the kids what it is, child. Come on,
Right.
that's never a disruption. Mm-mm.
And we need it because just like we were talking about when we talk about the phones and stuff, everything has been such a convenience to us that we forget everyday living skills, your ADLs. You forget them because your ass, the computer and the phones is doing everything for you.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think it's very important that they bring it back. Like I said, y'all know when I first started, when I was going to school up until like third or fourth grade, I believe, I went to an Islamic school. And then my mom didn't want us in public school, so she put me in Catholic school. So penmanship was an actual whole, however much time we spent on other class, 45 minutes
Exactly.
or whatever. That was actually a whole class
Because
for
you
us.
had to, that's right. You had to sit down there and get it together. Remember, and it was part of. Remember the green paper that we learned to write on, and
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
many of y'all probably won't even remember that. But your handwriting was always on the green paper
On
because
the
they had the
green
lines
paper.
and they had that little dotted line in the middle.
It had the
And you
two
learn,
solid lines and the dotted
yeah,
line in the
two
middle,
solids and
and
the
it
dotted
showed
in
you
the
all.
middle
Yep.
because your capital letters had to be between the two solid lines, and
Yes.
your lowercase had to be between the bottom solid line
The,
and the dotted
and
line.
the dotted line.
And the
Yep. I'm
T's
teaching
had to be
Lily that
between
right now. I'm
that
teaching Lily that right now.
okay. The T's had to be crossed on the dotted line to know it was a T. The L
Hmm.
had to go up and had to not touch the top line, but it had to go
Right.
up over the dotted line to be a complete L. The E
Yep.
had to go up to the dotted line to show that that was an E. Child.
Listen, I
Okay.
remember one time when my kid, I think it was Molly, and he had wrote his name on a paper. I think he was like in the seventh grade or something. And I looked, I said, "What the hell is this?" And he said, "Mom, they said we had to put our name in cursive." I said, "Well, what the fuck? What is this?" They
Oh,
had never taught them. So they had to write their name in cursive, but they had never taught them. And I don't know how I let that slip past me. That's why I
uh-huh.
said I can't let it slip past with my grandkids, because some stuff that got through the cracks with my kids that I just thought was automatic being taught wasn't.
Wasn't exactly. So and we got to be up on it. Here, EJ says, he said, I was proud too when I got my EMT certificate.
Mm,
EMT Wiley reporting for duty.
I
Okay.
hear that.
I'm about to get my Archangel title too. Archangel Wiley. I go to school in the after I go to school in the afterlife at night. You know what? I'm
I
gonna beat your
can't.
ass, EJ.
Absolutely cannot. And listen, and I'm up
Okay.
here reading like, wait, Archangel, what that mean?
Now,
I
child,
can't with you. I'm gonna need for you to not be playing with
uh-uh.
people's feelings like that.
No, honey. No. EJ comes in and is in tune, honey. Now, sometimes some of his comments it seem like it's out there in the stratosphere, but I really believe, like, in dealing with astrology and dealing with spirit and carrying on, all
Hmm.
the time, that a lot of times that's what dreams are. A lot of times your spirit does go soul searching when you're
Yeah,
when you're at rest. Okay, which is why it's difficult. When your mind is gone, your spirit. That's why dreams and stuff feel so real, because your spirit actually acts all that. Your
going.
spirit goes and travels and carrying on. This is why you could go back and forth, in between time and in
I
between,
was getting ready to say, yo, no, my kids lucid dream. Keisha
you
and
go.
Cole and one of my goddaughters, they know how to lucid dream. Like they know how to go into each other's dreams. They said it
Hmm.
freaked them out one time because they all woke up and called each other about it. And
Wow.
I mean, I was like, wait a minute, because I read one of the lucid dream books that we all had as like a family book club or whatever, but I didn't
Hmm.
get into it as deep as the girls did. And I was like, what the hell y'all got going on? Look, all the spiritual stuff I do. I'm like, what in the witchcraft shit y'all got going on in there?
Right.
But y'all, now, Meech, tell me this. I digress real quick, but I need to know the answer to this because y'all know I'm old and I might forget to ask it later.
Well.
Um, so I finally looked to see what my rising sign was, what my moon rising sign was,
Uh
and it
huh.
says Aries rising.
Uh
Now,
huh.
I don't know if I particularly like that because most of the Aries people I know, they lie a lot. I
Well,
don't
no.
lie.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times, no, because Aries are their sun sign, honey. That there is the energy that guides them. With that
Oh,
being
okay.
your rising sign, you have to look
Hmm.
at what the characteristics are that it says that a lot of Aries possess, and
Well,
that
I
there
did
is
look. I did like some of it because it was like the strong
yeah,
something will, determinated,
right. That
determined and
there
stuff. And I was like, oh,
is
okay.
yeah. A lot of the stronger qualities in your rising sign are what that's your drive that gives you your chutzpah to get up and tackle the world. Okay,
Okay.
because I'm a Pisces, but I'm a Taurus rise.
Oh, that's why you so strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, okay, I can see that. I could see that because I'm just getting into understanding the risings and that
Yeah,
part of it,
yeah.
the astrology part of it all.
It's deep, which is why, because I'm paying attention to Mercury being in retrograde and carrying on right now. It goes direct,
Yes.
it goes direct soon.
But
I
let me
got to
tell
get
you
the date.
something. My mood been off. It's been so out of whack.
Hmm.
And I'm like, come on now, Moon. I need you to get me to come on. Let's get it
Well,
together.
what it is that you got to go to center because with Mercury being in retrograde right now, you got to center and stop making. You can't make definitives right now. Whenever Mercury is in retrograde, that's the time that I call it a spiritual or moon planting season.
Yeah, I remember you
Okay,
telling me about that.
that there is when you plant the seeds and carry it on. You start to and you got to go prune the garden. You can't sit down
Okay.
there and look for a harvest time or whatever because it'll backfire. It ain't
Okay.
time.
Right.
Mercury in
Okay.
retrograde, honey, sits down and it's a calming that should happen. Major decisions are carried on. Life altering decisions should be made during this time because the
All right.
monkey risk will come down the way. What you
Yeah.
can do is prepare for it.
Okay.
Table it,
Because
prepare
and I
for it.
remember you telling us that, so I
Yeah,
haven't been, that's all I've been doing, thinking about different things or whatever. But I swear, my mood, my energy, and everything has really been like I have to make myself not be in that. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
It's
right.
really been weird. Like the last 4 or 5 days, it's just been weird,
Yeah.
and it's making me irritable.
Okay, right. Hold on. Let's go to some of the comments.
Okay.
I crochet as a passionate hobby. Crochet improves
Who
hand-eye
do that?
coordination, memory, and math skills. Doing things with your hands that also require methodical rather, thought is what makes these skills improve. Same deal with handwriting instead of typing. Exactly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because typing
Meet you
you
better
become like
tell
a
Amy
machine.
about me and my crocheting, baby. I
Okay.
crochets, honey. Nikki crochets, baby. It's
Okay.
a peace of mind to keep a lot of people from getting knocked the hell out too.
Right. Okay, right. Yes, I practiced mine on index cards while I was teaching my goddaughter as well. I was stunned to learn that they did not teach this in second grade. The grade where I learned it. Exactly. Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Mary Rodwell. Okay, well, who is that? Okay. Yes, my dream life is something interesting and very often vivid. Okay. Okay.
All
Robin says,
right.
stop. Okay. Ha! Aries that I've known are headstrong, factual, and direct people with mild creativity. Okay. And means
Mm.
yes, because Amy, our birthdays are right around each other. What are you the first or the second or the third? I'm the 4th of March. I know our birthdays are right next to each other. She said, how do I find my rising sign? Your rising sign is dependent upon the time of birth. When you look at the time that you were born, you go find out it's not the moon, I think it was the stars. You get to find out where your rise is. And most of the time, I'm born at 8:45 p.m. Yeah, whatever. When I found out, I always forget if it was in the morning or the afternoon. But when I finally
I
found
know
out,
I called my mom and asked her what time exactly I was born, because I know when I looked up the thing, it asked you like for you to try to pinpoint as close as the time as you
mm-hmm.
for you to be born. My mom said it was around 3 a.m. and when I put it in, that's what I got. So it's like a calculation they do, I think.
Okay. She's a specialist for new age alien babies. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh God, I cannot. I
And
can't.
are you
I
part of the star? Are
can't.
you a checker? Are you part of that whole because don't make me Google her because I need to find out what type of sciences and things that she's working with, because a lot of people who are into the astral world and into the metaphysics and carrying on. Oftentimes it seems a little out there, but there is a connection to it, and it goes back to everything. Like I tell traditional children, if you teach me that all things work together in those who love the Lord, then what part of all is exclusive?
I look at it
Okay.
like this: when we talk about is there like aliens and stuff like that, right? For those
Hmm.
people, you know, Bible thumping, blah, 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 that God created this, God created that. So you think that God created this whole universe and only put something here?
You know what? That's my question too. That's very arrogant of us. But Christianity is a
That's
very
all.
arrogant
Yeah, and
religion
I
anyway.
used to always say that. Be like, why do you believe? I've never not thought that they were aliens. Now, do I think they look like the little things that they put on TV and stuff?
Right. I
I
don't
don't
think they
know.
look like that.
But my
No,
thing
I don't
is,
believe that.
right. But my thing is, if I want to believe that the Most High God created this whole entire universe, how vain could I be to think that only place He put something was here? You just made something here and then said, "Fuck it, you know what? I'm tired. I ain't gonna put nothing nowhere else." Come on
Mm.
now. I mean, something to think about.
And there you have it. Okay. And there you
Yo,
have
this
it.
thing keep kicking me out, so I think it's saying
Yeah,
take my
and
ass to
you know
bed.
what I'm going to do? I'm going to give us. I'm going to cut out a little early today because I'm sitting up here. Y'all see me twitching again because I got this crook right here. I told y'all earlier this damn crook. Every time I sit down now, I think I tense my body up or something when I'm at the chair and
Wait,
things of
didn't
that.
Cole bring you the other chair?
What? Yeah, I have
Didn't
it.
I tell you one? Is it work? Is it not working either?
Huh? No, no, it's
That's not
no.
making you
This
feel better?
No, what it is, I think what's happening, like right here in my neck, this is my neck now.
Uh-huh.
Before it was
Oh
my ass
God.
because the chair was bothering my ass. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It
But
was probably
now
on
I
that
think what it,
sciatic nerve.
well, maybe, I don't know, but it's in my neck. And I know oftentimes when I'm sitting down here and I get into the show, it's only in one spot that it bothers me. And it's like, okay, but it feels like it is so tense. Like I need to have a massage. Like, like on a
Uh,
tensed up somewhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now, when I get out of this damn chair, go sit my ass on the couch and lay back, I'll be fine. But I think I,
yeah, it's probably the sitting straight up thing because I know for me it is the sciatica and the sciatica, like they call it at therapy. The lady said somebody else called it the psychotic nerve. I ain't never felt nothing. Y'all know I be in pain a lot, but that sciatica is, I
hmm
mean, that thing is straight down your ass. I told my kids, I said, I've been telling y'all was a pain in my ass all my life, and now my ass really be hurting.
okay.
That shit is
How
horrible.
about that? And there you
Yeah,
have it.
go
Okay.
relax then. Okay.
Roderick, he
All
says,
right,
my
y'all.
mother, my father, and great grandmother are Pisces. Honey, we're the best sign there is, child. Now, I love all of you who say that you are, and I would respectfully let you hold that crown. But the reason why Pisces is the best is because we are a composite of all of you. Honey. We're the last sign of the zodiac, honey, and we are a composite of all of you, honey. Now, some of y'all may call us a mutt. Okay.
Not a much.
Some of you may say
Y'all
that we
just
are a
mixed
mutt.
up of everybody. Just
However, we are a composite of all of the other 11 signs, okay, which is why we're so mutable.
mm.
Yeah.
Listen, I always like to tell people I love being a Gemini because we are an air sign. And as far as I'm concerned, baby, you can't breathe without me.
Ooh. See, how about that? You know what? Now, oh, no, that's our homework assignment. How about that? Look at your sign. Look at your zodiac sign and figure out which element are you. Okay,
Yes.
whatever your element is. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you determine your element, give me a synopsis of why your element is important to you. And did you live up to it? Because I know I'm water. Oh, honey, I am water, honey. And one of the things about all of the elements is this. All of the elements have the power to bring forth life and they can take life.
Mm-hmm. They take it away.
Okay.
Yep.
So now,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean that one is more important than the other? No, because they
They
all
all
work
have
in
to work
harmony.
together.
They all work in
Mm-hmm.
harmony. And look at how balanced it is. Now, how many of y'all remember watching Captain Planet? Okay.
Captain Planet, he's our
Right. Captain
hero.
Planet, honey,
Gonna
was not
take
a
pollution
superhero
down. Right.
until all of the elements had
Until
come
they came
together.
together. I
Okay.
had listen, my kids like Captain Planet so much. That was one of Timmy's first Nintendo games.
Oh, really?
He used to play Captain Planet. Yep.
Okay,
We had it over in Germany. He played it. Yep.
okay, yes. And how are there other planets with just no forms of life whatsoever? Exactly. Okay.
hmm
Get Off My Lawn audio edition is now available. This week, I discuss what could happen if he wins re-election. You know what?
Oh
Yeah, you
Lord.
sent me that link, and I hadn't gotten into it yet.
I was gonna
I
say
got to get
Eric
into
need to tell us when he about to go on because he know I'm old. I got 5,000 things going on. You got
it.
to call
Okay,
me or
he
send me
fired.
something right before you about to start
Roger said he's a
so I
fire
can
sign.
listen. Oh,
Okay, Get Off My
what
Line
is this,
ends
Claire?
this Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. We'll discuss why people don't vote and what we can do to be more active in our community and democracy. That's good. Wednesday, I'll be at work, but okay, if you're live, I'm gonna try to get on. Which is I hate that Captain Planet. Oh Lord,
Who
but
said that? I didn't get to see.
that was Eric. Um,
Eric.
well, that's gonna be the homework. Eric, you said you sent me your homework assignment. Which email did you use? Because I it didn't come up for me yet. I'm going to take a time where we're going to just do a show where everybody who turns their homework, I'm going to do all their homeworks here. Um,
hmm
but
Well, you
tonight's
guys,
homework,
you. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
tonight's homework, like I said, I want you to understand, go to and find out what your zodiac sign is and what element does it represent. And then I want you to look at what that means and write down if you are, do you live up to what the elements say you are or don't? If you think that no, I'm not this, but I am this, explain that.
hmm
Okay, explain it. You know, and do a little. This gonna cause you to do a little research, child.
hmm
Okay, will cause you to do a little research because you got to understand why the elements are the elements, honey. Okay, earth,
hmm
wind, and honey. Okay, and that there is gonna it's gonna send you over. I think that's gonna be fun. I think that will be completely fun. Okay, to talk about it, to see who else who are, and there's only four. Okay, that we have. So it's 12 signs, and each element has three signs that are in that. Now I'm a water sign, so those that's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I thought Scorpio was fire actually. But Scorpios are water. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpios are water. So, yeah, okay. Understand that, and then let's get into it. And then let's see, because we only got the four of them, honey. So we get to hear people's perspectives and carrying on what they see about their signs and all that. So on that note, okay, you said the dishing tea. Okay, then let me check the spam or whatever. Um, Yeah, right. I found that I so thought that they were fired because that's a fiery sign, you know, as far as their attitudes and stuff are concerned. But no, they're water, honey. I was like, okay, and which makes sense because of what you know they're represented by the little scorpion and things, and you know that's a crustacean. You know, Cancers are the crab. You know, Pisces are the fish. You know, so that's all water. You know, so that's what I did. But okay, that's me. So, having said all of that, I'm gonna let you guys go a little early. And I'm gonna sit down here and get myself together because we got some things to do tomorrow. And then I'm back at the donut factory tomorrow. So we'll be back with you on Thursday. And taking care of some things and gonna get some things going on. So in the meantime and in between time, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets, my darling, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech and Aunt Nikki today. So for all of you out there, honey, like, share, subscribe to all of the platforms, if you will. If you love me, baby, tell a friend. If you hate me, baby, tell an enemy, but you know this. One way, shape, style, form, or fashion, honey, everything that we're doing over here will move forward. Okay? I didn't do any commercials today. Oh, that's interesting. So, we had it just because we got into it, honey. So on that particular note, my darling, we'll let you guys get back to your life. So
Bye bye, babies. now.
Sing.
Sing. Good night.